Good day, ma. My name is Benion UAM FPP from the Department of Forest Production and Product, Federal University of Agriculture, Makurdi. I want to talk on experimental designs. I'll start by saying that experimental designs are simply a planning process which is being done in a controlled manner. In this process, the result being gotten is being analyzed so as to produce a valid conclusion or valid objectives. So I'll be talking on three types of experimental design. I'll start with the completely randomized design. This completely randomized design is being carried out mostly on experiments with homogeneous characteristics. Homogeneous in the sense that the experiments have similar characteristics. For example, mostly, let me say I want to carry an experiment on soil nutrient. So my experimental unit, for the experimental unit, I'll select experimental unit on which all grows on a particular soil, a particular soil with similar characteristics, maybe with similar soil structures and other things. So my results being gotten from the result, now any effect being gotten from the result, I'll know that this effect is as the result of the treatment being applied. In this kind of experimental design, every experimental unit has an opportunity of being selected since we are all picking at a random. So in this case now we are trying to be biased. So by so doing, we are trying to maximize precision and then minimize the experimental errors. The second type of experimental design, that is the randomized complete block design. For this kind of design, is mostly carried out on experiments which has heterogeneous characteristics. Heterogeneous in the sense that this experiment has different characteristics. They are not uniform, unlike the completely randomized design. For example, now I'm carrying an experiment so as to determine the feeding habit of a particular species. Although they are of the same kind of species, but in order to be more accurate, I'll have to block them. For example, maybe those species I'm collecting from the east, I'll block them or group them as a different species. Then those one I'm collecting from the north, I'll group them as another type of another type of experiment block. So from these two blocks now, I apply the same kind of treatment to each of the blocks. So now any effect being generated as a result of my experiment, I'll know that this effect is now due to the treatment being applied. So I'll know by so doing now I'm maximizing on the precision and also reducing the experimental errors. So by so doing, I'm trying to the main aim there is just to minimize the errors. So mostly then for the last type of design, we have the Latin square design. This design mostly is being used in situations whereby we are testing for two variations. We are carrying an experiment just to examine on two variations, unlike the randomized complete block design, where although even there we do group in blocks, but then we are just trying to look for just a single variation. But in this Latin square design, our target there, we all from the aim of the objective, we all know that from our result we are supposed to arrive at two variations. So we only use this kind of design when we are carrying out an experiment where we are expected to get two variations, two differences between our experimental units. For example, maybe I'm carrying an experiment so as to determine the effect of a hormone on the plant growth and also on the resistance to disease. So in this situation now I'm having two variations. So this when I will apply this type of this Latin square design. This Latin square design. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.